Well, that's it for this game. It was a good game for the Oilers, so not the best game for sure, but they sure battled in the third period, but it was too little, too late. Calgary comes up with a 1-3 victory. Yeah, it's the Oilers aren't that far away from the playoff spot, and losing to this team isn't the end of the world. It's not like, oh yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs now. It hurts their chances. Yes, it absolutely does. Still have a chance though. They couldn't defend properly this game. Like they could. Like the Flames kept passing in their zone like crazy. And like the Oilers can stop it. I don't know if you're Ken Holland and you're seeing this game. I don't know how you're not ringing the phones already. Cause it's crazy. It's crazy how bad this team's been getting. Right? They started this season 16-5-0, and I knew they were gonna drop. Like everyone knew they were gonna hit a bad point. But there's like a limit to that bad point, right? Okay, you lose 6, you lose 7 games. Time to hit back to the road, right? Time to start winning again. But no. Oilers lose 1-3 against Calgary. Devon Shore off the referee skate. Markstrom misplays it off the referee skate. Shore banks it in, and it's 1-2 Edmonton at that point. Then I don't know what happened on one of the plays. McDavid coughed it up. Do I think that could have been interference? Yeah, maybe. But McDavid coughed it up, goes straight up to Gaudreau. Lagesson, if I was Lagesson at that point, probably this would be a penalty, but I would just make a diving play. Like, I would just try to poke it away from him. But that doesn't happen. Gaudreau, credit to him. It was a beautiful move. Koskinen tried his absolute best on that, but it just sneaked through Koskinen on the side, and it went in. And then it was 1-3 Calgary. Then I think Edmonton called a timeout like a couple minutes later, they called a timeout. Did nothing for them. Loaded it up with McDavid and Draisaitl. I don't even know if they got a single shot on. Well, Kane did do a really good tip, and then, Kane did make a very good shot on net there, and yeah, Markstrom made an even better save. But this is just embarrassing at this point. Like, I think I've watched this team for like 3 or like 4 seasons now. Like 3 seasons now. I started watching this team in the 18-19 season, right? And they didn't make the playoffs that year. They made it the past 2 years, and now I don't know, will they make the playoffs or not? And at this part of the season, they had 72 points. Now they have 64. So, like, yeah, in 56 games last year, they had, I think, 72 points. And now, in, 57 now, they have 64. So they've taken a step back. And you don't want to see this for this team. You want to see them grow, prosper. I can't even imagine how angry are the people who saw this team through the 11-year playoff drought, right? Like, it must be so frustrated right now, and I'm frustrated too. Everyone's frustrated. And after a performance like that, like, it was not a good defensive performance by the defense. Plus, Cody Ceci gets first pairing minutes. I don't know how that happens. Duncan Keith's quarterbacking their power play. I mean, I get it. They didn't have much options there, but like, Ken Holland, you've got to keep ringing the phones for that. You've got to keep ringing the phones. You've got to try to get defensive help. Koskinen's been great. He's been great. He's been a consistent, good goalie. And his first loss under the Jay Woodcroft era comes. Yeah. Honestly, I think this whole Jay Woodcroft thing was just a honeymoon phase, and Oilers are getting back to their losing ways. They have to win next game. They have to. Because that would be 4 games, and that's a bad stretch. They're already in a bad stretch. Sure, they got a point there. But they have to, absolutely have to win next game. If they don't win the next game, then yeah, it's not gonna work. Like the defense was just so bad today. And Woodcroft, Oilers losing 2-0. 10 minutes into the second period. 10 minutes remain in the second period. This is the time where you use your timeout. This is what timeouts are for. He used it later in the game then, when the Oilers were losing 1-3. Had he used it then, he would get a little bit more energy. He would be able to regroup his players, and he would be able to execute. They would most likely be able to push way harder. But no, he didn't call the timeout. Woodcroft is a new coach, and he's way better than Tippett. Not gonna lie, he's way better than Tippett, but yeah, he should have used his time out there. The Oilers lose again. Yeah. I hope we can make the playoffs, but we're not even in a playoff spot. We're behind Nashville right now by 2 points, and they have won 2 less games played. It's just so disappointing, and especially after the start they had. And yeah, we all thought this team was going to make the playoffs. We thought at this point we would be first place in the division, or at least top 3 in the division, and it would be almost pretty much like a free ride into the playoffs, right? The power play will carry us. I knew people knew that the power play was going to slow down, but not to this point. Now they're 4th, 5th in the league, 25%, with 2 of the best players in the world. You 5th in the league in power play, how? And how did this team even lose so many games? They have 2 of the best players in the world, and they can't win. They can't put a string together because they can't get enough depth, right? And on paper, this team's fine. This team has good depth. But, something's wrong. Something's wrong in the locker room. Something just doesn't click in this team. Should our depth needs work, though. Our depth needs way more work. Devin Shore, good for him. He got a goal, but he doesn't really score a lot anyway. Good for him, though. Oilers, I've ran out of words for this team, to be honest. How many bad stretches have they had this year? I think they've had 4 bad stretches. We got the 6-game losing streak, and then the 8 or 7-game losing streak. We had the couple of losses with Tippett. Those are really disappointing. 4-1 and 4-0. No, 4-0 and 4-1. And then we had this. So that's 4 bad stretches in a season. 4 bad stretches in one season. How is that even possible? If you're not a rebuilder team, which the Oilers aren't. They aren't. They aren't a rebuilding team anymore. You can't make the excuse okay, they're rebuilding, they got young talent. McDavid's 25 years old. They're in the primes of their career. This is not a young team anymore. We cannot defend. We have no depth. Our goaltending has shown improvement. But we have terrible defending, no depth, being absolutely carried by our 2 superstars. How do you expect this team to... Ken Holland he has to acquire someone else. I know they have 0 cap space, but I don't know. Maybe, they needed a goaltender. They went and signed a gambling addict. And I like Evander Kane. I really do. But they needed a goaltender more. And you'd be and I know what you're thinking. Oh, you said Mikko Koskinen was the answer. But, if they had a star goalie, imagine that. Right? I don't know, maybe Kane's causing problems in the locker room. You don't know that, right? This pretty much turned into a rant instead of a post game. This was supposed to be a short, actually. So it's gone to like 10 minutes and 12 seconds. Yeah, disappointing loss for the Oilers. They can't seem to defend. And Koskinen's also, like, these are the people, and again, I'm just speaking on the top of my head here. Draisaitl was so bad today. Like, he needs to ramp up his skating speed a little. And I know Draisaitl's a guy who slows down the game. But when you're starting a rush, you've got to start getting your feet pumping a little bit. You can't just skate there like you're going on a little skate at the lake. Right? Like, I mean, obviously, McDavid and Draisaitl, they're two best players in the world. Again, a decision I didn't agree with. Why is Draisaitl on the first line center? McDavid is a better player than Draisaitl. He's a better player than Draisaitl. And Draisaitl is mainly just a power play player. Like, of course he scores on 5-on-5, and he has amazing numbers. But that's because of the power play. He used to at least have an amazing one-timer on the power play, which would lead him to score. That isn't really working anymore. He's still having an amazing year. No doubt about that, but yeah, he's got to get his skating speed up. There's no way he can play like this, right? Also, Oilers missing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They're missing Jesse Puljujarvi. Injuries are piling up, but that's not an excuse. Every other team is having that. They're getting tired. Every other team's tired. This is not our excuses. Teams have these on the course of an 82 game regular season. And there's so many. The Oilers really need better defense right now. They need supplementary scoring. They need guys who can push the pace a little. They need more power forwards, and they have that in Vander Kane and Warren Foegele, but they need more. They need more depth. I mean, I know this is a very unpopular decision, but could maybe we see a Draisaitl trade? They could get a ton of assets for it. They would obviously have to ask McDavid and Draisaitl if they're okay with it, but they could get tons of power forwards, tons of good defensemen, tons of picks and prospects. Because this is Leon Draisaitl, right? Team looks on him on paper and being like, oh, okay, yeah, we need that guy. And they can pay. They'll pay really hefty price for Draisaitl. Yeah. It's getting hard to watch this team, to be honest. I know I've said this a million times in this video, but our defense is not good. Ken Holland, seeing that game, you've got to get guys who can push the pace a little, guys who can defend, especially a hot team like Calgary. You got to defend this team. You've got to defend this team. You've got to go hard to the net. I did not see that from the Oilers today. I don't know. Tell me one time that they've gotten hard to the net, and created a really, really juicy opportunity going hard to the net. I didn't see any really good opportunities from that. I know this video was supposed to be a 2-minute short maximum, and it's gone to a 13-50-minute video, but there's so much to say, right? This team hasn't been playing good. They haven't been playing good. That's the moral of the story. And, well, there are the Oilers. What can we expect? Being carried by two superstars. Ken Holland, you've got to trade. This group's not good. And with two best players in the world, they should be a dynasty. There should be a dynasty. Right now, they should be on pace to win their first cup. They should be at the top of the league, getting ready to win their first cup. Are the Oilers cup contenders? No, they're not. Anything could happen, but we're running out of games. They're outside of the playoff spot by 2 points. And, yeah, it's not the end of the world, yeah, I guess, but Ken Holland, if you're hearing this, get a better defenseman get depth, and try to play for a consistent goaltender. I like Koskinen. But, I mean, is he really going to be consistent in the long run? I don't know. Ken Holland needs to do something with this group. It's getting tiring to watch. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow when I talk about something. Alright, please like and subscribe, and bye.